Hi there, friends. I'll come in here with a quick note to let you know that the first global Product Owner Summit organized by the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is coming soon. To know more, check out the bit.ly/Product Owner 2023. That's bit.ly/Product Owner 2023. That's all one word, all lowercase. And stick around to the end of the episode to know more. But for now, on to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Success Thursday. This week, we have with us Meena Venkataraman. Hey, Meena, welcome back.
Hey, nice to be back.
So, Meena, on Thursdays, we talk success, but before we dive into that, we also talk retrospectives, because retrospectives are such an important aspect of how we get to success, of course. So, share with us, what's your favorite retrospective format and why?
Okay, I'm a big fan of simplicity. And I'll tell you why. I've noticed this growing trend in recent years where, with tools like Miro and Mural and many other tools, right? Like there's lots of formats available, and then the format becomes the thing. So I often go simple. I just start with something as simple as what went well, what didn't go well, pair it with a check-in and a check-out, and really try to increase the insight of the team, because I think the power of a retrospective is in the conversation that you have there. So let me tell you a story. I once went along to this retrospective that somebody else was facilitating, and I was called to observe. And what I noticed was that there was this really jazzy format. Lots was said in the beginning, but then when we got to the point of actually generating insights from that rich data that was gathered, sort of became anticlimactic. And I think this is where Scrum Masters can really add value in asking questions to unlock the insights from the team. And sometimes, like when you ask a good question, people might translate it and ask the question to themselves and then give a different answer. So bringing that back and really, really getting to the core of the issue is important. I had this maybe a few months ago where I asked a team that I was facilitating a retro for, how do you get feedback? Because that was the topic being discussed. And they said, one of the persons said, oh, we don't do reviews. And I said, that's not the question I'm asking. I'm not asking you if you're doing sprint reviews. I'm asking you, how do you get feedback? So it's a different question, right? So this is what I'm talking about. This is where Scrum Masters can really coach and bring the focus back on the principles. And also role model behaviors, right? Like, for instance, you have a lot to discuss in a retro. How do you prioritize? That's exactly the same skills you use while prioritizing a backlog, right? So saying, we have a lot of time, we don't have a lot of time, this is our time box, let's discuss the most important things. So for me, I think it's not about the format. I go very simple, but it's more about the conversations.
Yeah, and that highlights how important it is for us to feel comfortable and confident in the approach that we take as Scrum Masters when preparing those workshops. There was one thing that you said that I wanted to explore further, and it was this idea that you need to ask questions to help unlock the insight so that teams have kind of a reflection moment and crystallize the topic. And the example you gave, I think, is a great example of how when we ask a question, we ask it from our perspective, right? Like, how are you getting feedback?
Yeah.
And when they answer the question, they never answer it from our perspective. They answer it from their perspective, right? Like, and they said, we don't do sprint reviews. And that is incredibly important information for us as coaches and Scrum Masters to understand what is going on with the team. Because very often all the time, we only see with our eyes. We can't see with other people's eyes, right?
Okay.
So when we see something, in this case, when we ask a question, we have an idea in mind. But when we get that back, and the answers we get to our questions is a very effective way to break the illusion mirror or the illusion glass we have in front of our eyes, right? That when we get that answer back, we get it from their perspective that comes with all of the baggage, the fears, the excitement that they bring, the team brings to the conversation. So I really like that idea of asking questions that are maybe, kind of open questions to both crystallize the insights from the retro, but also to let the team understand itself what is going on, right? So that they help us understand what they are going through, and then we can help them also through a continuous dialogue, more questions and so on, to unlock those insights.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's really, really important. And if you can anchor it in the agile principles, then you have a very powerful framework to work with that is that's agnostic to whether you're using Scrum or Kanban or anything else, right? You're just making the team think about, what does it mean to be agile? What does it mean for you, for your unique context, with your challenges, with your filters? How else, like if you say you can't get feedback through reviews, how else can you get feedback? What if you had to come up with something, what would it be?
Absolutely.
That's
I really like the idea of anchoring it in the agile values and principles. That's a great idea. So, Meena, of course, we do these retros and these conversations because we want to learn how we can become successful. And in order to do that, first, we need to define it. So we're interested in hearing your definition of success for a Scrum Master, Meena. What is it?
So I think the biggest the biggest way for me to succeed as a Scrum Master is if the team doesn't need me after a while. Like if I can step back, and then just come in when they want to talk. And I really believe in this. There is good karma in business, like sometimes I work with the team and they want to work with me again. And that's a good sign for me that my previous engagement has gone well, that they've had a positive experience of it, or that I get invited to facilitate. They say, like, it'd be really nice if you do this because you're neutral. That's coming from them, and that's because they've had a certain experience. So yeah, I think making sure it's not about you as a Scrum Master, and then ensuring that there is no unhealthy dependence emerging on you over a period of time just because you're working with the team is important. So in our day-to-day working, it's important to ensure that whatever we're doing, the team gets it and they're able to do it themselves. Just like we do with our kids. Like I've got 2 little boys. I want them to be super independent when they grow big. And that's how I work, right? Like I'm a nurturing parent, but I also want them to do their own thing. So it's a very similar thing.
Absolutely. For me, what is really hard is to find the behaviors to then look for, right? Like it's very obvious when the team says, don't worry, we got this. You don't need to be in our retro. You can go and be with the other team or talk with the stakeholders, whatever that is. So that's an obvious thing. But what are the other behaviors? Maybe the more subtle behaviors you're looking for that tell you that you can start stepping back.
So, so a few other behaviors that I would look for is, the team starts communicating with the system. There is more feedback. People are understanding the product, how to interact with the team. The team's getting better at navigating conflict. So the incident I told you about earlier, where people were not giving each other feedback. If I see people talking about these things in a healthy fashion, where it's happening without me, that's a good indicator that, the team's starting to self-organize. That's our intention, right? Self-manage. We want the team to self-manage without somebody external telling them what to do. And this is what it is. Other parts that I would look for, so the team is there with a purpose, right? They're delivering something. Are they delivering a quality product? Like when it goes out, are there any metrics? The DORA metrics are a great way to look at, are things being delivered? Are we shipping code frequently? Are customers happy? There's a number of questions to ask. So I would look at all of these things, plus how the team's working together as a unit.
Absolutely. And that's a great catalog of things to look for and to help us assess if we can step back. Thank you for sharing that, Meena.
No problem.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around. This year's first global summit dedicated to the product owner role in Scrum will have some amazing keynotes and 2 tracks filled with first-hand stories and experiences for product owners to learn more about that critical Scrum role. We'll have Roman Pichler, author and product expert, who'll be answering your questions and sharing the most important aspects of the product owner role. We'll also have Colleen Johnson talking about why roadmaps are probably making your life much harder than it needs to be and what to do instead. This talk was quite a success in Agile Online Summit 2022, and Colleen has learned some new tricks, tools, techniques that she will share with us when it comes to roadmaps for the product owner role. And we will also have Henrik Nyberg, author of Scrum and Kanban from the Trenches, as well as one of the creators of the Spotify model. So come in and listen to his stories. And we'll also have, of course, 2 tracks with many more sessions and even some live sessions. The 2 tracks will cover practices every product owner should know, where we'll be hosting conversations on topics that product owners need to be familiar with, like product backlog refinement, planning, and much more. The second track will be on metrics, measuring product and personal success as a product owner. As product owners, it's crucial to have a clear understanding of what are the metrics that drive success for us, and of course also for the products and businesses that we work with, and we need to continuously measure and optimize those metrics. So in this track, we'll be sharing what's working and what's not in the area of measuring success for product owners. We will also have the opportunity to network with our peers. It's a network event, of course, so get your tickets and join our Slack. Go to bit.ly/product owner 2023. That's all one word, all lowercase. As always, we will have free tickets and VIP tickets, which will give you long-term access to the content of this summit. So check them out at bit.ly/product owner 2023. All lowercase, all one word. I'll see you on the summit floor. Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday Product Owner episode. See you tomorrow.